So, okay, Tony's right. This is Tony. I'm gonna talk to you about stuff. So, I did a video about wrapping up my classes. Essentially, I have like a few more like classes left. One class is completely done. This upcoming week, the in-person class for the second one will be done. So I only have to meet them next week online. And then the third class, essentially, we have until like the end of the semester to turn in like everything, but we'll be in person like the last two classes. But we still are like a week early, and that's generally how it works. So like the first week in May, I'm generally done all my classes. And then the next week I just have to do my assignments. So yeah, so I talked about a little bit of thesis and stuff like that. And so this is my summer plans. I had to like talk my way through because I was like, what did I say in the last video? So yeah, summer plans. I've applied to summer things, internships and stuff like that. We'll see who responds. Yes. We'll see who responds to like my thing, because I did sign up for like internship. Like I said, went through a whole bunch of rejections. I think I probably will have a better round for this one because it's more locally based kind of people as opposed to trying to do like outside of things. I do have a few applications for writers kind of things, like more fellowshipy type things and larger projects that I want to do. So I probably need to get started on those because like I said in the other video, it didn't take me that long to do this final project for this class that I have kind of technically today. So I should just kind of like work on that kind of stuff. And then like I'll spend the next like 2 weeks doing my other things. Yeah, so summer plans for before going into thesis. So we talked about thesis and what we are required to do kind of each semester. So the fall semester and the spring semester, what's required kind of in each. And so I personally don't have any ideas. A professor was like, the professor that I have was like, the way that he approaches it is more generative in thesis one versus like the other professors may be more like you have work that you already have kind of made and we'll kind of fine-tune that. He's more generative, so he's the one that's going to be leading us. I like that approach because I'm not so stuck on what I want to talk about just yet. So cohesion to me may come a little bit later, and you can always make cohesiveness, like to me cohesiveness is not an issue. And speaking of which, I got to do my my poetry review. I like put that to the side. My bad, Miss Sylvia. Oh my god, took me forever. But yeah, I think I'll probably finally do that this weekend, next weekend and stuff like that to kind of like get it going because yeah, like reading a poetry review to do a poetry review makes me aware of poetry in the collection, and as I get to poetry in collection for thesis, reading people's collections comes in handy, right? So I have a bunch of semester reads that I need to go through. That'll be another video. I should go upstairs after this one and get that and then come down and do that video. But summer plans, if internship works out, great. If not, then whatever. I am considering going back to massage and doing my art, doing my art and writing and stuff like that, but going back to massage just because it provided a level of financial, well, one of the places, financial stability, because it was more consistent work at a chain. More consistent work. So considering doing that, getting my licensure reinstated because I let it lapse, and then completing all my other like certifications, so pharmacy tech, all those kind of things, all those things outside of writing, getting those set, because I want to have like stable employment going into my senior year, third year, thesis year. I just don't want to be worried about finances. I signed on for all the loans and stuff like that, but just like real bills, like actual bills, like I want to make sure like through the summer I can pay them and through the rest of the semesters I can pay them, right? So doing like that, and then thinking about jobs post graduation, like what do I want to do and stuff like that. So teaching is definitely an option, considering that, putting that out there into the universe. Another thing is leading up until my graduation, I probably will be doing workshops. So making the first workshop to do sometimes summerish. I know people do vacations and stuff like that, but like I'm finding a date that people like probably pretty good if we're not like too close to 4th of July or too close to coming back. Somewhere between like now and like September, at least having 1 or 2 classes, 1 or 2 workshops made and you know, facilitated would be great for me. Also getting my journal up and running, like getting the hosting done, getting the website done, getting the submissions, because I do want to post some submissions in June, like just the inaugural. It may only be like 2 or 3, like I don't give a shit, like, but pieces that get published. And so yeah, there's that. So those are my main summer plans. The main worry of mine is finding work post graduation, only because creative writing positions are not easy to come by. And it's like this year is like everyone is looking for someone, and I'm like, next year are you guys gonna be looking for people? Because I swear to God, like, it kind of feels like I entered at the wrong time, which is kind of like sad to say, but it's like, I know it's not the wrong time. I know like whatever I'm supposed to go into, I will be going into, but like, it's so sad because like a lot of jobs, particularly locally, are looking for people. So it's like, once those jobs get filled, it's kind of like, okay, well, where else locally will be open? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was thinking about that. And then getting like fellowships and stuff like that, because I will be an MFA like graduate, getting fellowships to do kind of different things with my writing. You know, that's on my mind. But the more practical step of getting me from the end of this semester up until next semester, that like 4-ish month gap that I have now, trying to just fill it with work and jobs. So just to make sure I have steady income and stuff like that, and making sure that I'm not financially like in a bind. And that just means me working more consistently. So trying to work out the full amount of my hours if I do a federal work study program, and then supplementing that with other things that I'm doing. And like I said, doing the workshops and stuff. So about the workshops, probably will be like a paid cost because I want to rent somewhere, unless I can get a really good deal with the place that I did the last workshop. Most likely will be have to like pay for it, because not only am I renting a room, I'm probably going to get food, stuff like that. I want it to be like a pretty decent experience, and I want it to be longer because I want people to join that maybe like MFA leaning, or maybe a little bit more serious about publishing their work, getting it ready for publication, looking for resources and stuff like that. So it's going to take a little bit of work for that. So there's that. Outside of that, not too many summer plans for vacation or anything like that. Like, there's a few fellowships that I wanted to do, but like, I'm just not in the mood for rushing myself. So I'm not going to rush myself. And there's that. So yeah, summer is pretty straightforward. Reading to get prepared for thesis. So reading, looking up like the structure of different poems, different poem forms, poetic forms, different topics that people were talking about. Maybe brushing up on my Adobe skills so I can like think about designing, you know, like covers and interior spaces and stuff. Because I don't remember that shit anymore. So making sure I know what's going on with that would be like helpful in the future. So yeah, there's that. Like I said, thinking about thesis but not being too cemented in it now that we know the process. And yeah, like just preparing financially in between that, and between now and thesis 1, and just getting my financials and stuff, and thinking about the future is where I am. Probably going to stay local for a year or 2. We'll figure it out and then kind of go from there. I don't know. But yeah, let me get my books that I'm going to show you guys, because it's going to be a to be read. We'll see how this goes. A to be read. But yeah, okay. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.